the head. What we're doing and what we'd like to think about what we did with the development of the Arts District, is we created a focal point, and we're focusing on Norristown as a destination. We want people to come here rather than just passing through. We've got a great Main Street, but everyone just uses it to get somewhere
We have
else.
2 theaters, right?
We have 2 theaters.
Come on.
We have a movie studio here.
And how about down at on the Main and Orange Street? Tell me about that.
Where are we talking about?
With the restaurant there, we have something there every once in a while. With
down at August Moon.
Yeah, August.
That's something that was a development of the district.
It's another ingredient.
We have jazz events there. We have Second Saturday Jazz, Fourth Friday Jazz, and we're bringing people in from the circuit in Philadelphia, top-notch jazz artists, jazz purists who come through.
I'm going to be there on
You
Friday.
need to come down, and we'll have another show about that.
Jim Holton's son is going to be playing, right?
Jimmy
He
Holton
plays
will
the
be there.
piano, I think.
He's fantastic.
Yeah,
He'll be there.
Great.
He'll
the
be
whole
there.
family. He was Dr. Holton used the superintendent of Norristown schools, you know.
Okay.
And he plays trumpet, no, saxophone, I think, right?
Yeah, Jim
His
plays
son
piano, and I think his dad played
right.
saxophone. They have
The
a
whole
deep
family.
history in Norristown, so he stays in the area, and he lives in Ambler now and plays from here to Philadelphia to New York, wherever. But the focal point, and what we've done is, I think, change the image of downtown Norristown for people who have never been here, because theater goers suddenly come to the theaters that are here and they see the richness of Iron Age Theater, of Center Theater, of Theater Horizon, and they realize there are equity actors there doing professional shows in a quality that you can't find in many other places in the area. It's a treat. Once people get hooked and they come to an event like that, the jazz, the theater events, or even this whole festival, they see Norristown in a way they've never seen it, and they realize, wow, this is something I can do, and I don't have to travel all the way to Center City, Philadelphia.
That's right. You don't have to go all the way to Philadelphia to park it and all that.
It's a whole different ballgame.
And you know, another thing about Norristown, we have a new chief of police.
Yes.
And he's sharp guy. And we have a new administrator, it's Jones, and they're cooperating 100%.
These guys are great.
You know, I was a good friend of Mayor Rizzo, and in fact, I was one of his pallbearers, and he says, Hank, he says, you ought to run for mayor. You know, I said, I don't know. He says, look, if you run for mayor, there's one thing you got to remember: keep the town safe and keep it clean. And that's what we're working on. And we're going to come here. It's going to be safe. It's going to be clean, and it's going to be entertaining for everybody, our visitors and our residents. How's that?
And it's not
Send me to Harrisburg.
It's not just us. It's important that you say that too about the clean and the safe. These are all partnerships. You know, we have a lot of different organizations throughout the municipality
And
who
you're
are
the kind of guy that can put them together.
well, they're focusing on what they do best. And if they're all focusing on what they do best, we kind of come together for another type of catalyst where everyone is creating a strength in their own way. We have guys that are working on cleaning projects, like Shay Ash with the Norristown Project. He focuses on making this a safer, cleaner town, and gets volunteers to come together to take part and invest in their own community. Come outside and pick up trash in your own neighborhood.
Now,
that works
where's the main stations? Where are people going to be? Like when they get there, I'm going to say, well, Main and DeKalb Street, what's going to be there? There's a big lot there. What's going to be going on?
If people think about Main and DeKalb, that's the heart of the festival. So if they can get there, they can get to the whole festival. But the actual event takes place on DeKalb Street from Lafayette all the way up to almost Erie Street.
Right along.
It doesn't matter where you are as a vendor or where you are as a visitor. There's something happening on every part of those blocks.
How about the singers? What do you call them? The Montgomery County Idols.
Oh, Montco Idol
That's going to be a stage there?
Well, we have 4 stages. And on these 4 stages,
You tell me there's going to be 4 stages.
Yeah, we have 4 stages, and on these 4 stages,
there's no business like show business. I know. Ho, ho.
We've got dance, theater, live music, a lot of it this year, with bands coming from, we have some that are nationally known, we have some that are very regionally known. But it's not just about Norristown. We're bringing people in to perform here in Norristown for the greater region.
Right.
We just happen to be hosting it.
And then also we got arts and craft. We got people that want to come about arts and craft. That's another
We have painters,
feature.
we have potters, we have people who are drawing, we have people who are sculpting, people who they're actually doing some things that are so creative, like fiber art and different types of art that you don't see usually at a festival or in the run-of-the-mill gallery that you might go to.
And
now, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be walking up and down. Where am I going to find you?
Yeah, you walk
Everywhere.
up down the hill. What really makes it great about having all these different pieces is it adds a dynamic to the event. So Rich mentioned there's going to be 4 different stages. So all throughout the day, when you come out with your family, you bring the kids.
That's it. Bring the family, because you got things there for children. It's family.
You can jump around to the different stages, so there's constantly performances that are rotating, so you can always see some action. You have the crafters that are kind of doing their thing. throughout the day. You have the food. There's other
And
activities.
there's people give out different favors and things, you know, advertisements and all.
And this year we have the Kids Corner, and we have some different performances that are targeted specifically for children. So
All
if
right.
you go to the Kids Corner section of the festival, which is down a little bit closer toward Lafayette, the kids can get entertained. There's games,
Wait,
activities.
they got a bouncing thing too, I think, don't they?
They
had
have
it last year.
balloons. They have face painting. It's really a
Right.
great time for young professionals, families, children,
Wow.
older folks.
Now-
It's great.
All right, now, every show has an outstanding personality, guest star. Who were some of the highlights or what do you call them, the top guys that have special talent? Tell us, what do you got? Who are they?
Well, locally, we're starting off the day.
Anybody local?
In tradition, we start off the day with excerpts from the piece that is current at Center Theater. We'll see excerpts
Center Theater,
from
right?
the
That's
Fantastics.
John Doyle and
John
Fran
Doyle,
Doyle.
Fran Doyle. We'll see some
They
excerpts
ought to name
from
it
the
that Fran
Fantastics.
Doyle.
Fran Doyle Theater. That's what
Little theater.
There's a great group that's local playing around the Philadelphia area called Midnight Bottle Club. These guys are great. It's a trio with a lot of power. You would think there were more guys on stage.
Music.
It's a blues-based trio
How about
with
me?
some
Got a
original
little
music.
song for me?
Can you come out and sing?
Hey,
at the festival?
compari, si vuol suonare, si suona lo fiscoletto. And come si suona lo fiscoletto, o fiscoletto, tippity top.
Now the
got
Montco
it.
Idol,
That's it.
that was perfect. We need you on stage one of these years. If not this
I'll
year,
sneak over
can
there.
we do
Sign
it
up for
next year?
Montco.
And I don't have to have a couple wines to do it too. I can do it when I'm sober.
Okay.
Get right on.
Montco Idol, they
Now,
just.
tell me about the Idol. Have you been having a contest? And now these are finalists, right?
This is from the Times Herald. They sponsored this event.
Times Herald.
It started last year, and what it is, it's a talent contest that showcases talent from the Montgomery County region. And they're holding preliminary contests all the way up until, I think, just 2 days ago. They narrowed it down finally to 3 finalists. Those 3 finalists will be on stage at 12:30 on the
12:30
stage in the
on
Delucia Light
stage.
at Maine and DeKalb
Maine,
at
DeKalb.
this festival. So we don't know who they are, unless you're following the,
Well, you-
contest
you
yourself.
mean you don't know who they are?
Well, the people out there don't know if they haven't been following
Oh,
the
oh,
contest.
oh.
But when they get to this event, they'll get to see those 3
Well, how do you-
finalists.
who-
They can vote for them there.
How do you select the winner?
The crowd votes for them, so the ballots go out, and
Oh,
it takes
oh,
a long
yeah.
time to tally all these
Oh.
ballots. But yeah, they have
So
there's
some
some
of
different
the-
categories that you vote for.
Some of the best talent is yet to be determined because the day of the festival, they're going to have a vote. These 3 finalists, one's going to be selected, and there will be a new Montco Idol for Montgomery
Oh.
County.
Then the Times Herald sponsors that, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'd like to touch base with the Times Herald and say, the winner come on my show. For people that not able to see the winner sing, she come here on this show. She's welcome. You're welcome to come here, and we'll play it. John Doyle, line her up. Okay.
Got some other goodies for you.
And no business like show business.
You
Go
must
ahead.
know another song. The George Weldon Quartet, fantastic jazz quartet. George plays the vibes. They'll be out there this year.
Wait, jazz. What kind of instruments?
The vibraphone, drums. Vibraphone, it's like a, what
They're
a,
fantastic.
it's a,
Thing that they'll get there?
yeah, you play with the mallets. It's a percussion instrument.
All right.
It's got the same tone bars on it as what you find on the piano. So you're
Okay,
looking at the same
okay.
notes that are there, but the guy plays with different types of mallets depending on what kind of sound he wants to come out. But it's actually an art just to watch how they play this instrument. There'll be a quartet with bass, drums, guitar, and the vibraphone. And I know you know these guys. Mercury Rising, Sammy Baker, Kent Grantham, Vince
you know what?
Rosio. Those guys will be out there headlining and starting off the day on one of the stages as early as 11 o'clock. We'd like to think of them as our breakfast with the Beatles.
Well, you're talking about all these little orchestras and different instruments. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing, I think you should have your child learn something about music, take music lessons, and at least bring your children down, and they'll hear this music and they'll say, I think I want to play the violin. I want to play that whatever. Okay, so it's something to get things moving. But I know I took violin lessons for about a half hour. My father bought me a violin, and they sent me over to Mr. Marcella, and he says, "Oh, put the violin. You have to learn music first." And I walked out.
That was it? You
I
learned
thought
dough?
I was going to play the violin.
Learned the
He's gonna
first
teach
note.
you.